Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Huddle.
Where we talk about football.
Are you trying to imitate me, or
I was, yes.
I'm tired. I'm also sick and tired of the Steelers losing. It's 3 straight that we have lost. But we will, of course, get into that later on in the Steel Curtain session because today's playbook is basically the most normal thing in the world. We got NFL news. No final call this week, correct?
No final call.
No final call. We're going to put it in with a game that should not take long. CZ Pack reacts, and then yawn break, and Steel Curtain session. So, for the NFL news, Elijah, go ahead and do a couple. I'll wrap it up. Whatever.
All right. There wasn't that many. But CeeDee Lamb is out for the season. I did not even check what injury he has, but he is out. Shoulder, okay. Yeah. Well, it doesn't even matter anyway because they got eliminated. Cowboys got eliminated. Ravens clinched the playoffs. And then Teddy Two Gloves, after winning a championship game as a coach.
Championship, yeah.
Yeah, state championship, yep. He signs with the Lions as their backup QB, so should be interesting for that. Yeah. Take it away.
Speaking of coaches, Deshaun Jackson follows in Deion Sanders and Michael Vick's steps of becoming college coaches. He is set to be the new Delaware State head coach. I'm sure they will have some of the best dance moves in the entire nation. Let's just hope they keep on to the football before the 1 yard line. You know what? Yeah. Jonathan Taylor's actually going to go back for his last year of eligibility in college football. And he's going to go to Delaware State. Hurts. He is hurt with a concussion. Is he out this week?
He is out. KP7 will be playing again.
And the championship is cooked.
Might as well pick up Kenny Pickett.
I picked up Mason Rudolph. He's
okay. That's the good.
Picked up Mason Rudolph. And then Kenneth Walker is placed on IR. He's done for the season. So that's interesting. Shaquille Barrett, he's allowed back in the NFL, but it's weird. So the Dolphins approved his unretirement, and they're going to cut him. So once he clears waivers, he can play for the last week or 2 weeks, but he cannot play for the playoffs. So basically, it's going to be staying in shape for next season.
Also, I saw somewhere that Calais Campbell may be cut from the Dolphins so that he can try to win a championship game.
Yep.
Which is nice of the Dolphins for doing
that. Yeah, because I would assume he's done after this year.
Yeah. Sure.
And then Deontay Johnson is picked up on the waivers by Texans.
Texans, that's right.
Yep.
Because of Tank Dell's injury that we did not mention.
Yeah. Prayers for Tank Dell. I mean, you just look at him. Second year in the league, what did he do his first year? Was he broke his leg?
Yeah, something like that.
Broke his leg. He was shot in the off season, and now this just pretty rough start to the start of his young NFL. But he's a good player, so obviously prayers out to him. And then, last but not least, I feel like there was something else. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Deontay. He's been on 4 teams in the past, and basically a calendar year. Steelers, Panthers, Baltimore Ravens, and now Texans.
Yeah.
And he will most likely be on a new team next year because I don't think they will be signed for anything.
Or not on the team at all.
Yeah, that's true.
A new whole league, like the XFL or whatever. Or what's it called now? UFL?
Something. I don't remember. Anyways, that's your NFL news. That went a lot longer than expected, but here we go. Let's do a game. Elijah, I don't even know what to call this game, but I saw it off of another soccer podcast by the Front Three. Check them out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. They're awesome. But they do this idea where you say 2 teams, any 2 random teams, and the first person to name a player that played for both teams, you get the point. It's just 3 rounds, so it's first person to 3. It's quick, it's interesting, it's fun. So I wanted to try it out here. So for instance, I would say 3, 2, 1. I would scream Steelers. Elijah would scream Ravens. I would say Mike Wallace, and I would get the point for the round.
Unless I said Deontay Johnson first.
Right, or whatever. Le'Veon Bell, any of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, though, we'll be keeping track, because if we continue to do this, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. Any other time that Elijah would say the Steelers, and we would say Steelers and Ravens, Mike Wallace is off the list. Like, you can't use it again. So, that's my little twist onto it. But until further notice, we'll try it out. So, Elijah, here we go. Get a team in mind, any NFL team.
All right, give me 1 second.
Okay, let's do a practice round. Let's do a practice round.
I didn't understand. No.
3, just say a random team when I get to 1.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Buccaneers.
Seahawks. Oh.
With your Sherman.
Go. Wow, that was a good one.
I would win that round.
Dang, I didn't even remember his Buccaneers time. That was a good one. I might be
coached
this game. Okay. All right.
So you get it now.
I got it now. Yes.
Okay. So once I'm done saying 1, just scream it. Okay.
I'm gonna say it quicker because I'm pretty sure I'm a little bit delayed. Or no? Am I a little bit delayed on?
No, I think you're good.
All right. I'm okay.
Let's screw it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Giants.
Cowboys.
Giants and Cowboys. This is so dumb.
Yeah, I don't even.
Giants and Cowboys. What?
There's a guy I just cannot think of his name.
He's a Giant that also played for the Cowboys. Please comment below. Wow.
Okay, let's just call it a draw. And
dude, there has to be. We'll look it up. I want to know.
I'll look up Ron Stone, but that's not a guy that I would even recognize.
So maybe we're not. Oh, Herschel Walker did.
Yeah.
Linval Joseph did. Trying to see if there's any like. Alfred Morris did. I forgot about him.
Oh, I think that was the guy I was trying to think of.
Alfred Morris.
Yeah.
So maybe we're not as dumb as we look.
Dan Campbell.
The obvious one.
Dan Campbell played for both.
Yeah, Dan Campbell did play for both.
That's cool. Well,
okay.
That sucked for us.
All right, here we go. That was a draw. Nobody gets the point.
All right.
Here we go. Round 2. Or I guess this is round 1. Part 2. I don't care. 3, 2, 1, go. Seahawks.
Geno Smith. Chargers. Geno Smith.
Oh. Did he? He was a Charger.
He was.
I was gonna go Uchenna Nwosu route, but.
Well, too bad.
Okay. All right. So Elijah got that round. He's up 1-0. 3, 2. Let me think of a team.
Okay.
1. Go.
Colts. Oh.
What are we doing? Colts.
Bro.
And
Colts and Jets, right?
Joe Flacco.
I was just gonna say it. Oh.
Okay, there we go. Okay, 1-1. This does not take a minute. All right, crazy. Round 2. You do the countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Patriots. LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount. No.
I already said it.
Oh my gosh. No. Crap. Okay.
Let's go, baby. I win.
I was gonna say Martellus Bennett. I don't think he played for the Eagles. And then I was like, no, it's LeGarrette Blount who I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
Lucky. Okay. Round 3, you do it again. Because I think you are a little behind.
Didn't I just win?
No.
How many rounds are we doing? 5?
3. Yeah, it's first person 3.
I just won 2. Oh, first to win 3. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, first to win 3. Yeah.
All right.
Look, give me a second. Let me think of a team.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not going to get deep in my bag here at all.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Bears.
Steelers. Okay.
Trubisky.
Wait, what'd you say?
Trubisky.
No, what did you say?
Bears.
Oh, I thought you said Steelers too.
No, I said Bears.
Oh, I didn't even hear you.
Dang.
Okay,
I was gonna say
we'll give you it.
I was like I hesitated. I thought you were gonna say Fields real quick.
No,
All right,
that's why
we'll
I
do a
paused. Dude, we could have went
okay.
Fields, Trubisky, Allen Robinson, Claypool,
Yeah,
James
but you
Daniels.
didn't. Yeah.
Pretty sure Landon Roberts was a Bear. No?
No,
Maybe?
he was not. No.
No, he wasn't. Okay, well,
But you know what? It was a good try.
it was a good try.
It's a little rough when it's over.
Yeah. We're about
Yeah.
25 miles away from each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
But moral of the story.
It was fun. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We bonded over this time together.
We did. We learned something about each other is that we can pull great names for this game. Actually, I'm proud of you for coming up. I mean, well, you stole the game, but bringing this game into the huddle. And,
I can steal it. I'm flattering front three. Once again, check them out. They're awesome.
What is this game called?
I don't even know, but they're just like.
We'll come up with a name. Hurry up. And yeah, off the top of your head. 3, 2, 1, go.
Football guesser. I don't know what the
all right, football guesser. I guess is the name of this. I'll put it in the script.
No, we're not doing it.
All right, we'll come up with a better name and we'll put it in
crazy
later.
cool. I feel like that should.
That was one, and then you didn't have any good ones after that.
No,
but,
not.
Let's move on to
CPAC reacts.
All right.
Just a heads up.
Okay.
Because of the Christmas season, which I hope you all had a great Christmas, and are enjoying your break. Because of that, and because of how crappy the Steelers' schedule is, we're doing both the Ravens and Chiefs Steelers game this episode, and we'll have another episode next week, about the rest of the teams that played. So,
okay,
just a heads up. But yes. Seahawks play tonight. Crap.
They do. Didn't even think.
We'll just do it after.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Packers. We dominated the Saints and we clinched the playoffs. So pretty happy about that. Jordan Love had a nice game. Josh Jacobs, as always, has a nice game. But we really spread it around on the run game. Emmanuel Wilson had a touchdown. Chris Brooks had a touchdown. I mean, if you look at the guys who had a rushing stat, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players had a rushing stat this game. So that's pretty interesting. And then probably the same amount for receiving too. But we just dominated. 0 points put up by the Saints, and we even got a Malik the Freak Willis sighting in the game, so that was pretty cool. But we're playoff bound, and let's go Pack. Here we go. Beat the Seahawks whenever we play them again, I guess.
Yeah. Seahawks. Gino. Gino. Okay, Gino is better than Sam Howell, but I would argue he's worse than 31 other quarterbacks in the league some days. Okay, JSN, I mean, give him his flowers, best receiver on the Seahawks this year, and I would say he's a top 5 receiver. Top 7 or 8 receiver this year. Really played well. Defensively, it needs to be better at times. I don't know. I feel like our zone defense is kind of crappy. And Tariq really needs to step it up too. He's been playing poorly. But overall, beat the Bears, which I'm hoping by the time this episode is out, they do. And beat... They played last week. I don't remember. Might be the Rams. No. I don't know. Beat them. And just let's move on. If we don't, do anything, then let's just move on to the playoffs next year. So, whatever.
Can't imagine saying that. All right.
I don't know how Yeah.
It's time.
Okay. Let's. I'm not even singing the song. I'm not happy.
I'll sing it.
I'm not interested. I'm frustrated. and we have a lot to go over here tonight. So
here we go. All right. What do we? I mean, obviously, I guess we start with the Ravens game, right? I think the only bad thing in this game was Russell Wilson. And I know you're going to argue it.
Yeah, I'm going to. Absolutely, I'm going to. Number one, Russell Wilson is expected to extend a deal with Pittsburgh, and it could look like 3 years, $140 million per a coworker, per social media. So don't know how true it is, but just expect for Russell Wilson to be with us for a couple years, which I'm not complaining about. But you want to take a look at that week. Ravens finally beat us. They finally beat us. And they beat basically our backup team, like our backup defense. Like, it wasn't anything, I don't know. And I know we beat their backup team for a bunch of years, but it's like Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph have beat you, so I don't really know.
Yeah, it did suck. We didn't have.
I just hate Ravens fans and Ravens.
Yeah, we didn't have. I always forget his name, Elliott, and we JPJ got hurt in the game. But you know what? A positive is that Minka finally got a interception, so
which would have put us right back in the game.
Yeah, if Russ didn't suck.
So, okay, let's talk about that then. Let's talk about Russ. Number one, that fumble on the goal line. You easily could have cut out to his right. He should have slid. But you know what? If I'm Russell Wilson in that situation, I think there's still a lot of fans that hated him and don't want him playing. And Russ in that situation was probably thinking, hey, you know what, let's show him why I should be the starter. And if Fields can do it, I can do it. And then, yeah, you know what, almost lost his hip. Could have been done with football for his career. Got lucky. So,
yeah.
And then, he creates a turnover where we could have been up. Ravens drive down the field 98 yards was absolutely unacceptable from the defensive point of view. I don't know. I think our zone defense is so terrible. Like, and it's what I feel like we play so much zone now recently in the red zone. And you look at it, KZ got absolutely burnt. And I know he was playing safety, so I might have been man with zone up top. But Rashad Bateman just beat him on a good route. And this past week, Dante Jackson couldn't get over. Queen couldn't get over on the 2 touchdowns by Justin Watson and Travis Kelce. I'm just frustrated if you can't tell. And anyways, back to Russ. And
here's the thing.
You just got to throw it outside.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. Russ actually had a very nice game. If you take away the fumble and interception, he had a very nice
good game.
However, he threw an interception and fumbled, the two reasons that cost us the game, because we probably would have scored at least a field goal whenever he fumbled. But I mean, I'm not going to blame him for being aggressive. I just think you got to be smarter sometimes, and he just, he cost us that part. I didn't watch the game, but I was listening to it on the radio at work, and I didn't hear who fumbled it. I thought it was Najee. So the whole time I'm like, man, Najee's going to get cut after this game. And then I realized it was Russell Wilson later. But I did end up ended up putting on someone's phone at the end. So I saw the pick 6 by Russ. And yeah, just not a good throw. And stop trying to get Michael Pruitt involved.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And Darnell Washington should get him off the line blocking. And I understand our tackles have been playing terrible. Get him involved again like we did the first couple weeks. And oh my gosh, this is probably what ticked me off the most that game. Marlon Humphrey. Okay. If George Pickens did that, he's getting flagged, he's getting fined, he's getting flamed on social media, he's going to be called a diva, a crash out. They're going to call him, just everything they want. They're going to make him look bad, destroy his image. No flag on that play. I mean, are you kidding me? Like taunting, like straight up taunting, which we get called for every single week. You don't want to call it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's probably the least of our concerns at that point. We had just,
It's just frustrating. It obviously just all built up.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that was just the last 3 weeks have been really bad for the Steelers. We just can't get anything going. And
I don't even know. Like, this was our playoffs. This was to get us ready for. This was to see, are the Steelers a playoff team? No, absolutely not. We choked away a 2-game lead on the Ravens.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to get to clinch the division at all.
No.
Either. Now the Ravens are.
Now we're like, oh, okay, whoever. We'll just go to Houston and beat the Texans. Cool. You want to do that? Great. But the game after that, we're probably going to be up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Or most likely we'll be up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Or maybe in Kansas City, which oh my goodness, our season ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, pack your bags.
We just saw what happens when we play Kansas City. So let's talk about that game a little bit. Russell Wilson with another interception in the red zone. I guess technically it wasn't his fault.
I think that's just a professional interception. Like, kind of forced it a little bit, but if you look at the play,
Pickens was supposed to be running a route, and I guess he just gave up on the middle of the play.
He does, he does that a lot. If he knows the ball's not going to him, it's kind of just a half joggy kind of route.
I do agree that. Pickens should have done that, but also Russ, you got to be looking around you. If you don't see Pickens, if you don't see the safety moving over, then don't throw the ball.
Yes, I understand that, but then again, you're looking at everybody else running that route. Pickens is basically his entire purpose is to pull the safety on that play, and he's not going to throw it 30 yards out from Calvin Austin because if there's a safety lurking in another corner, he's getting popped, and Austin's out for the rest of his life. So. And I don't know what happened to Roman Wilson. I seriously don't know if the doctors killed him or something. Like, I don't know. We don't have to force him back if it's not needed. But it'd be nice to know where Roman Wilson is. And then our red zone defense. It was the play. It was like that quick pop screen to Kelsey. It was like the play right before that. And I think it was to D-Hop or Brown, maybe Worthy. And Trice was on him. And I'm like, we're playing way too deep cornerback-wise in the red zone. It was way, way too... I mean, he was off by maybe close to 10 yards off of him. And all they did is the receiver ran a 3-yard curl. Mahomes put her on the money, and then I think they picked up a first down. Or they were just continuing to move the chains. Like, I don't get some of the schemes made by Terrell Austin. Like, I feel like our safety's healthy or good enough to cover the back end zone. Our defensive line is good enough to put pressure on Mahomes, which we did. We put pressure on him all game long if we weren't getting held every freaking play.
Yeah. One thing, another positive that I'll add is I'm just looking at the stats. Najee and Warren both had 70-plus yards, and Russ also had 55 yards and a rushing touchdown. So
right, and you look at Wilson's carries, he got sacked many times as he had to get out of the pocket and carry.
That is true. Where was the line on our team?
Terrible. There's a reason why we drafted Fatano. It's unfortunate he got hurt, but damn more, my goodness.
Yeah. What do you think would have happened if Chris Jones was in the game? Like, it probably would have been 42-10. If even we got 10 points. I don't know.
But, and just even that, we scored 17 against... I don't remember what it was.
What, against who?
We scored 13 against Philly, 17 against Baltimore, 10 against Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost by 2. And it's not even like really bad losses. We've been playing from behind because we put ourselves in that situation that we can't really climb out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's not like we really lose the game till the fourth quarter, which is so weird because we're so used to coming back.
Yeah, I think what makes us win is our defense, and when our defense plays bad, we lose. So we obviously didn't get any turnovers, or did we? No, we didn't get any turnovers this week. We could have had turnovers.
Get on the fumble.
And on a pick, we could have had a pick, but it didn't happen because
that was one more thing I noticed too. I feel like Patrick Queen let up. Like whenever he saw that a play was over, he kind of just stopped.
Yeah,
and it was weird because like there was times that there was tacklers closest, so there was like 3 guys bringing out Pacheco or Hunt, right? So he obviously knows like the play's done. But he's just kind of standing there, like he kind of like let up. He's not really being alert. Like, hey, what if there's a fumble? What if somehow they break a tackle off, right? And you're not like it's just simple stuff. Like if you want to be that guy with the green dot, you are our captain in the middle. You're that middle linebacker, which he has been for us. I just feel like there needs to be. I just felt like he had to be more attentive, and that pick should have had it instead of us punting all the way down the field. We're at least in field goal range, you know. And then later on in the red zone, should have had that pick.
Yeah. I kind of hope that we get blown out next week by the Bengals because I would very much like Austin to be fired. I never liked him as a defensive coordinator. I don't know. I mean, obviously we were high ranked in like multiple defensive parts earlier this year, but we just can't. Why was Travis Kelce having the game of his life?
So I'm saying
he hasn't done well all year. He hasn't done squat all year, and now he puts up 84 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Worthy had 8 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Justin Watson had a touchdown. What happened to our defense?
Dante Jackson got cooked on that play, you know? And it's like, and a lot of people hating on Minka too. Minka made big plays these past 2 weeks. So if you watch football and you tell me that Minka sucks and we should get rid of him while we can, you don't know ball. I'm just saying that. Minka's a very, very valuable part to this defense.
Yeah. And then one thing for the Chiefs, they still have not put up 30 points this year. So I still think that they could be
but this is probably their most convincing win of the season.
I know. I was going to say that too, yeah.
The Panthers put up a more competitive game than we did.
Yeah. That's pretty unfortunate.
And I'm just frustrated. Once again, penalties, we got screwed out. Connor Hayward was not offsides.
No.
I don't even know he wasn't even off.
No.
And that Darnell play, I don't know. Unbiased, Elijah, do you think that was holding or not?
Yeah, I would say it's holding. I mean, that's one of those plays that it's either going to be called or not. Like, it's just... They happened to see it this time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And,
so,
that's 7 points off the board. And then Connor Hayward...
And then we threw a pick.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because it moved us back. And then you look at Connor Hayward's penalty. That's -5 yards after Pickens got us inside the 10, or at least inside the 15, which is probably really, really hopeful for us to score, based off how our running game was that day. And then...
It was just...
Yeah, we got pushed back again. He got sacked. It was really, really poor overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's bad, too, because we handed Baltimore the division. We're going to go 10-7 again. Most likely lose the first round of the playoffs. And if we screw up again this week, I can't believe this is even happening. The Bengals will finish with one game behind us.
That's crazy.
If the Bengals win this weekend, and then if they win out, they will finish one game behind us.
Wow.
So really, like they have a superstar quarterback and a superstar wide receiver. They have the offense. We have a better defense, and we rely on our defense, but they only can get us 10 wins, right?
Yeah.
But a garbage defense like the Bengals we'll only lose them one more game. I don't know. You know, like, it's just absurd to me. It's really, really absurd.
Yeah, that's the Steelers' way. It's unfortunate. Maybe I mean that's brings talks again about Tomlin and everything, but um, yeah, it's quite unfortunate that it's going to be happening every year. But I would like to see a lot of change again coming off season if we cannot win a playoff game this year. Um, and I mean, I feel like there will be a lot of change. I have a feeling Najee won't be on the team anymore. I have a feeling our QB situation is going to be different. Um,
Honestly,
obviously,
too, if we let Fields walk, suffer if we have to. If it gets this bad, suffer through Russ for 2 years. Screw the winning percentage. Screw the winning record. Get yourself in position for a Arch Manning or
yeah, or even keep Russ for 2 years, draft a quarterback this year so they can sit
develop them.
behind Russ. Yeah,
Right.
Russ is a quarterback that I would gladly have someone sit behind. That's why I'm excited for Fields if he ends up staying. But
And I think
uh,
we signed. I think we signed both of them. Sign Fields on a 1 year. Sign Russ on a 3. I don't care. The moment,
yeah,
like I said earlier this year, the moment Russ goes down 3 interceptions or 3 turnovers to 0 positive something to our team, bench him and don't look back. And I hate saying
yeah,
that because he is my. I mean, he's my favorite football player of all time. Like
yeah,
it's Russ, and
yeah.
it has to happen. We need to be aggressive with our decisions, and
Okay, yeah. What?
even
Let
that.
me read off these free agents real quick for you.
Yeah,
Some
go
of them.
ahead.
I don't know if all of them. So James Daniels, but we're not going to sign him, right? You don't think we're going to sign him because we got
I
McCormick.
think we're happy with McCormick.
Yeah. So we'll have Russ, Fields, Dan Moore potentially because he's had a nice season up until this past week.
He's too
So
inconsistent. He always has been.
yeah, I don't imagine he'll stay with us, but there's a chance. Najee is in the mix. Where the heck is the rest? I know Warren's in the mix. Um, okay, why are they not showing me the rest? But that's already some big name players that if we choose to sign, that's gonna be a lot of. Cam Sutton's a guy. I don't think he'll be back, but still, Landon Roberts is on his last year. Dante
Yeah, I don't know
Jackson's
if
on
he'll
his
be back
last
with Cole
year.
Common, Peyton
Yeah,
Wilson rising up.
Dante Jackson. What do you think about Dante
Yeah,
Jackson?
we'll re-sign him.
We got to get. I mean, that's really big names, and then there's just some smaller guys like Nate Herbig, Matakevich, Loudermilk, Moon,
Yeah, just some depth guy. Depth guy.
but and then Mike Williams, which we're probably not going to see him again. But
I would not re-sign Mike Williams.
so I mean, there's some names that I can see the Steelers trying to keep. KZ again too, but I just don't see us paying everybody.
I think we have like 100 mil, maybe more to
Let me
spend.
see. I don't know if
It's
they
upwards of
promised.
90. I know that we have
Yeah, plus they give us more money. Don't they
every
raise the
year.
cap every year? So we should have some help with that. But even still, that's going to be we're going to have a hard time in free agency if we're trying to sign everybody.
Right.
So
All right. Last but not least, I want to talk about something, and I know it's talked about a lot because we have so much of it as Steeler fans. But I want to talk about the culture of the team. We saw guys like Deshaun Elliott, Cam Hayward, TJ, Tomlin. A lot of interviews. Hayward said, 10 guys. If only 10 guys are doing their job and one isn't, it's not benefiting the team. TJ said, back to work. What did Deshaun Elliott say?
I didn't even hear it, so I don't know.
Yeah, he was like, he said something like, we just got to learn how to friggin' play.
Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
that's
And Tomlin said, we sucked. Pretty self-explanatory.
yeah,
So you get to the point where Tomlin's not ballsy enough to go for it on a 4th and 2 on our own side of the field when we're already down by 2 scores with 6 minutes left. Where he is probably thinking, oh, we'll force a fumble off the punt return. No, we're not. It doesn't happen to us in that situation, ever. And then you're looking at, a team that's like all big on community and family and the standard is the standard when it's just so weird to me that there's so many players in free agency and players that get drafted and like, I want to go play for Tomlin.
yeah.
but there's no real like. You think about guys like TJ, like he's been sitting here since 2017 and he's gotten nothing. He's gotten personal accolades. He's got nothing for it though.
It's true.
I'm surprised he hasn't chosen to leave.
I was gonna say, if he left, I would be very understanding, and I would still be a huge fan of TJ Watt.
Absolutely,
no matter where. Even if he went to the Ravens, I would.
I
would be happy if he. I mean, I don't think he would, but if they won a Super Bowl and he was on the team, I would be happy for him. Not so much for the Ravens, but I think he deserves better if we're not going to win anything for him. But yeah, it's just there needs to be some changes, and I thought that was going to come this year, but it's looking like it's not coming this year. So
it's even the stuff like when we had Brian Flores a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And that's still when we thought Terrell Austin was really like a great defensive coordinator, which I don't think he is. I think he's average. It's like, it's okay to tell him, hey, sorry, we have a better guy for your job. Like, if you want to win a Super Bowl, you got to take risks. And I'm not saying, like, sell your team's soul like the Rams did a couple years ago for a Super Bowl, but you got to be aggressive.
Yeah, it's true.
We have the pieces. But I would say we are a consistent quarterback, a tackle, which we drafted. So I would say we are probably a wide receiver 2 and a defensive back away from a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I think Justin Fields would be the guy. If he stays next year and he's the starter next year, I actually think we have a way better chance of a Super Bowl just because of his time sitting and his time learning. Because think about the guys that are Super Bowl contenders right now. There's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts. And they are all mobile quarterbacks. They can make plays on their legs. They can make plays in the air. And Russ can do some of that, but I mean, he either fumbles or he's not that quick anymore. So
yeah, but it's a different scheme. We have Arthur Smith, who's just like play action, toss, play action. Let's run, play action. Like, no, dude, come on. Like, his offense is.
Yeah. Ugh. But I think there's going to be a time where that's going to have to change for the Steelers. And I think Justin Fields, if they decide to change and let Justin Fields be the guy and let him scheme around him, I think we can be an actual Super Bowl team.
For right now, I disagree with that. I think we have a better chance of winning Super Bowl with Russ than we do with Justin Fields.
I mean next year, though. I'm not saying this year. Yeah, I'm not saying this year. No.
Depends what the backfield looks like. Depends if you draft Emmanuel Buka or a Kyron.
Yeah, I mean, sure. It depends on the rest of the team, but I just think with the times are changing a lot in the NFL, and especially for quarterback play. There's like no pocket passing QBs anymore. They're all scrambling players. So it's like Justin Fields is one of the best scramblers in the league. So I think if he next year, with all of the experience that he's had now under the Steelers and under Russell Wilson, I think he would be a great player for us. And I mean, you saw him against the Colts. He basically put the team on his back when we were down by however many points and brought us back into the game. Obviously,
yeah, but then he fumbled.
Yeah, but I mean, he's young. That's why I'm saying next year and into the future, I think he will be our best bet for QB. But that's, again, a whole nother talk.
Right.
Or a whole nother time that we can talk about that again. But
yeah. And I would even say, too, it's just like, when Russ had to escape, our receivers couldn't get open because we don't have a wide receiver, too, to pull away. Or we don't have a guy where we can have George Pickens take up the focus, like take the defense's focus so we can pop it out to our wideout, too. So, like, when Russ does escape, he doesn't have anybody to throw to. And then whenever he wants to pass, he doesn't have time to throw because our O-line's garbage. So, I don't know. We're in the playoffs. We are in the playoffs. We got our winning record. So, in all honesty, who knows? Who knows? We might win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It can happen. We have more of a chance to win the Super Bowl than the Bengals do up to this point, so I'm happy.
Yeah. But I feel like we have the least amount of chance between all the rest of the teams in the NFL that are in the playoffs.
I think we can compete.
Other than the Texans. The Texans have a lower chance.
If we can get in, that's what I'm saying. If we got in spot 3 or 4 and we let all the other teams beat up on each other, we let the Ravens maybe beat out the Chiefs in the divisional round, and then we play the Ravens in the conference championship. It's just.
What teams do you want us to play? Just like the Ravens?
If we just look at, like, I guess if the NFL ended today in the AFC, it's Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, us, LA, Denver, which I think will probably end up how it is. So we would play Houston, we'd win, and then we would play the Chiefs. I mean, seems like that would probably happen. So
yeah.
Could have won the division.
I think
but we screwed up.
The only team that I want us to play is the Texans. The rest, I think we're gonna lose. I'm not gonna lie. I know we beat the Broncos, but that was before Bo Nix was putting up crazy numbers, and that was before
we beat the Chargers before they really found their identity.
Yeah, although I feel like we could still beat the Chargers. Actually,
I think we would
especially without Dobbins. Yeah, without Dobbins, I think that gives us a better chance. But
once again, we're the Steelers, man. We're random.
We are.
We could very well win the Super Bowl in February.
Yeah, but we say that every year, and then we just get knocked out.
It's true. It could be different. We'll see what happens. I don't really know what much more to say, but that was your very, very, very long talk of the Steel Curtain session. But looking forward, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Bengals, Rams, Cardinals, all on Saturday. I guess some other big games. Buccaneers can look to turn around their season after their loss to the Dallas Cowboys, which was a really good game, by the way, on Monday Night Football. They played the Panthers. Colts need a big win against the Giants. Dolphins could increase playoff chances with a win against the Browns. Vikings, Packers. That's going to be huge. Sunday at 4:25.
Yeah.
Commanders, big for both teams there. Sunday at 8:20. And I guess that's it for this week. So, thank you for listening to the Huddle. Steelers still got some work to do. We can still win the Super Bowl. But maybe let's win the division first. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, we're going to need help for that.
What I do know, though, is that I am Levi Jenkins, alongside here with Elijah Coher, and this was yet another episode here on the Huddle. And it is almost time for playoff football. So, good luck with your fantasy, if you're in fantasy, to all you champions that are probably looking decent right now in your championships. And hopefully whatever team you listen or you support, they are in the playoffs for the NFL. Unless you are Cowboys, Patriots, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Niners, Cardinals, Rams. You get the gist.
Yeah. So also shout out to the losers. Hopefully you don't have to do too bad of a punishment.
Yeah, Elijah.
I'm not last. I'm pretty sure I just beat somebody. So anyway, go Mountaineers. Go Pack Go. Here we go Steelers. Peace.
Yeah, Pitt sucks, by the way. Holy crap. How do we lose?
Yeah, they do.
Holstein would have won, I'm just saying.
Yeah, sure.
Are we doing a Wildcat or no?
No. We're at 45.
Yeah, you guys know what's going on in college football. Maybe you don't. I don't care. Look it up yourself. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace.